Hey guys, this is Janie Charlo. Welcome to another episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. I am continuing on with the Divine Feminine series, and today, this episode is about why safety and security is extremely important for the Divine Feminine energy. Okay, so I want to share my screen because I want to go ahead and start with the root chakra. All right. I did a podcast, and you could find it if you just want a little bit more information on the 7 chakras that are within the body. And you could, if you want to learn more, you can go to that video. Right now, I just want to talk about the root chakra. All right. Um, the root chakra, just as it says, it is about the root. It is about our foundation. All right. And everything in this energy center has to do with our trust, our stability. It represents the earth. So, we're rooted in the earth. So it definitely represents being rooted and grounded. It also has a lot to do with just safety and security. All right. So the energy center is related to our sense of being secure, our family ties. All right. Like, did we have strong family upbringing? Are we rooted in family, or do we have any roots? So in this particular energy centers, people who have been adopted sometimes have issues in this energy center because they have a sense of abandonment. So I'm just trying to give you an example of what a blockage would show up like in this center. All right. But anytime you don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, you can have blockages in this area. So any type of abuse, all right, any physical, mental, sexual, verbal, any type of abuse, you might have a blockage in the root chakra. All right. And it's important that we understand this on a deep level, because without feeling safe or secure, we will not surrender and we will not be able to open up our heart chakras. All right. And divine feminine energy is all about the heart chakra and anchoring that down. All right. So that we can be in balance with our male counterparts. But I also want to mention that even for the men, all right, even masculine energy, your root chakra is important, because you as a man, you may have blockages in your root chakra. Perhaps you as a man, you didn't have a good relationship with your mother, so that motherly love and that rootedness, or that feeling grounded in family, was never present in your life. So you don't understand what that is. Or perhaps you've never had a good example. You had it, but you didn't have a good example of it. All right. So it's important for both men and women to both understand the root chakra. All right. And I just, on this particular picture, is just some things: right to be here, abundance, stability, trust, grounding, safety, home, all of that good stuff. All right. So I wanted to just share that, so that you guys could understand the the roots of this. All right, the root of safety and security. And we hear all the time in relationships, that women want to feel safe and secure. And I think almost 90% of men think that that is only a financial security, and that is like tea tiny. Because if we were to be honest with ourselves, most women are fine financially. We're fine. We've done that. We've made money, and we can continue to make money. That's fine. But what is lacking is that emotional security. And I think that is something I want to break down also today in this podcast. All right, for both, definitely for the divine feminine energies, but I think our masculine counterparts could also learn a lot from this as well, and why this is so important on a very deep and foundational level. Because if the foundation is rocky, nothing can be built on it. And so we're going to break it down. Let's talk about it. So first of all, we have to feel safe and secure internally and externally. Okay. So we do need to feel safe in our environment. All right. We need to feel safe in our home. we need to, because the home is the mother source. All right, this is where she raises her kids, this is where she teaches her kids, this is how she feels connected to her family. So we have to feel safe. So if you're, if you're a woman and you're living in a house with a man, and as a woman you're the one constantly at night making sure the doors are locked, you're not feeling safe, right? Because you're having to implement that security yourself. If you live alone, that's different. I'm talking about in a balanced relationship as well, and why it's important for feminine energy to feel safe and secure. Okay. So also internally, that has everything to do with our emotions, our feelings. Because if I can't trust you with some of my deepest, darkest secrets, then I won't be able to surrender, and I will not be able to let that heart chakra open. And I don't have a picture to show, but the root chakra, that energy center, is at the very root. So it's at the very bottom of the spine. All right. And as you can see, energy has to flow all the way up to the heart chakra, which is at the center. All right. It's the fourth chakra. And the root chakra is number one. So energy has to flow up. And if the foundation is rocky or blocked or closed, there's very little energy that's going to be there to open up that heart chakra. Okay. So and we have to be honest with ourselves as women as well, because I think sometimes we overlook the obvious. All right. But let's talk about it. Okay. So let's talk about the barriers or threats. I want to say threats to being safe and secure for women. So lack of safety. All right. So I kind of just talked about that. Do I feel safe with this person? Can I put my guards down with this person? Do I trust them with my deepest, darkest secrets? And then if you've been abused and that's a blockage for you, then you have to also work those blockages out. All right. You have to do root chakra work, root chakra energy healing and clearing. All right. Do in regards to emotions, is like, am I safe with truly expressing myself emotionally? Because that's safety. So if you feel that you are hiding your emotions, then you're not really in a safe spot. All right. Or you for some reason you don't feel safe. And I think that's the biggest thing with women is emotions, because um women are labeled as being emotional as if it's something negative, but it's not. It's something beautiful. And it's the fact that there's a lot of energies that can come through her body. She's a conduit for these things. All right. She has to learn to master them, of course, but it's a beautiful thing. But I think it's been termed negative for women because they're emotional beings. And if someone is getting those lower emotions from a woman, they don't, that's not a good feeling. But when you get loving emotions from a woman, that's a beautiful feeling. So in order to get those more higher emotions, she has to feel safe and secure in doing that. Okay. So lack of safety. The next one is lack of trust. All right. If I can't trust someone's values, their ethics, their intentions, their morals, I can't surrender to them. And that's what this is all about. It's about surrendering our hearts. Because that's the biggest and most highest energy that we're all trying to work up to. And it is a matter of being free to surrender that. All right. So if I can't trust their morals, ethics, and intentions, I can't trust them. All right. If I can't trust their decisions, all right, I can't trust them. And sometimes decisions, people make decisions better in one area than the other. All right. And I understand that. But if you don't trust this person you're with, you really can't trust their decisions, you don't trust them. All right. You don't trust their loyalty. Perhaps there was a time when they were loyal and you trusted that, but then that trust was gone, or for some reason the loyalty was gone. And if you have not worked through that 100%, then you're not trusting. All right. And I think sometimes we kid ourselves as women when we still try to move along in a relationship that the trust is gone. And for some reason, as women, we feel like we have to maintain this, and the trust has been gone. And you're kidding yourself because you're not surrendered and you haven't been able to freely open up your heart if you can't trust. And that's just the truth. All right. Um, are you able to be honest and transparent? Transparency is extremely, extremely important, um, because it grows the trust. All right. Now, when we want someone to be extremely honest with us, we have to be willing to accept their honesty and their truth. All right. We have to save space for that. And that is the loving thing to do. Okay. Um, so because the truth is the transparency will grow the trust. All right. Now, once this person is honest with you, then you have the right to make different decisions from that point. But you have to save space with what the honesty that you're getting. All right. I think, that's been another thing that women don't want to know the truth. We do want to know the truth. We want to know the full truth so that we can make an informed decision. If we don't know the whole truth, then we're not making an informed decision, right? But I think being truthful and honest allows us to make informed decisions. And I think that goes both ways. And remember, these things are all about feminine energy, but remember, men and women both have feminine energy, okay? Just like men and women both have masculine energy. We're just honing in on the divine feminine energies, all right? And so that was lack of trust. Next is lack of protection, okay? And this is external and internal, all right? Like, we have to feel protected. Like, I need to feel protected in my home. I need to feel protected in an environment. If we're out in an environment, I need to have that sense of protection. And it's just an energy that a man who is a good protector, he has it, so that's that safety and security. All right. If you're the woman, like I said, and you're always the one locking the doors, and your man going straight upstairs and going to sleep, and you're left locking the doors, that's a lack of protection. All right. It's a lack of protection, and you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it as a woman that there's something missing here, right? Or if you know you guys are somehow out in the public and he walks way ahead of you, or he's way behind you, and he's not paying attention to you or your kids in a public area, that's a lack of protection. All right. It's a lack of protection. There's just a way that a man will position himself in providing that protection. All right. There is a way, and you will feel that. Not only that, he's very protective of your heart because he understands that that is truly the prize. He understands that that is also his ticket to the most high. He has his own ticket, but there is still this very special energy within the divine feminine that she holds that connects her, and that he understands that that is his ticket. So he's going to protect your heart. He's going to protect that. And he's not going to want to risk it. All right. He's not going to want to risk it. And if he's in a position and he decides to risk it, then he lost protection, right? And then and mistakes happen. Things do happen. So every situation has to be weighed, and everybody has to evaluate their own situation. But there is a clear understanding that he's putting something very, very, very valuable at risk. All right. And he's going to want to protect your heart and your emotions. He's going to want to protect that. He wouldn't want to risk that at all. Not only that, he's going to want to protect your mental space. Okay. So he's going to help out with the kids. He's going to help out with cooking. He's going to try to alleviate some of the stress on you. All right. He's wanting to protect your space because, again, when he's protecting you, he's protecting his own peace. He's protecting his own ticket. Okay. So he clearly understands that. So that's lack of protection. All right. He's also going to protect your energy. Okay. He's going to protect your energy. So if he sees you in a stressful situation or in a situation that is stressing you out with maybe family or friends or something like that, he's going to maneuver somehow to protect you and remove you from that energy with that person, give you some type of advice to remove yourself from it or whatever it is. He's going to also protect your energy. All right. So it's so deep and is both internal and external. And these are things that innately as women we feel. We feel it. All right. Sometimes it's nothing that he does or that he could say, is all in the action and how you are feeling the energy that he's providing for you. All right. The next one is lack of seeing you. All right. He does not see you. And what I mean by that is he sees the physical you. He sees the physical attributes. He sees, just the beauty in your creation, right? But he does not see your soul. He does not see your spirit. He does not see the deeper layers. Now, I will say that some women don't allow that to happen for whatever reason. They have blockages. All right. They've been hurt. There's a lot of things out there. So as divine feminine energy, we have to clear and heal ourselves so that the inside of us aligns with the outside. But when the outside speaks, it's all in alignment. All right. Because internally we're showing the spirit that's there. Because truth be told, this is just the outer shell. This is just a vessel. It's just the outer shell. All right. What's inside, the voice inside, the energy inside is the true being of who you are. And that's really all you're going to also take from here, while everything of the flesh goes back to the earth. Okay. So does he really see you? And do you allow him to really see you? All right. Beneath the physical layer. Does he understand your emotions, your life, your journey, your triggers, your current obstacles, or the areas that you're currently growing? And does he save space for that? Okay. So does he really see you? All right. And seeing into someone is true intimacy. That's the truest form of vulnerability and intimacy that you could ever have and ever give someone. All right. And are you allowing yourself to be 100% vulnerable as well? Again, no one's going to fight walls. I don't think no one should fight walls. That we have to work on our own shortcomings in the areas that we have to heal. And I don't think nobody should be fighting walls and breaking walls down. I don't think that's the job of any man to do. Okay. Now we do protect our hearts. There's keys that's going to turn and unlock, and the floodgates are going to open. And some people have literally the DNA access to you, through my personal journey. But it's like, I'm just speaking in general and why it's so important that safety and security at the root chakra, the foundation, is so important for women. Okay. And then lack of surrender. Okay. So, if you haven't surrendered to this masculine man, this masculine energy, there's a reason. Okay. And you really have to dig deep and figure out why. It could be on your part and it could be on his part. All right. And remember, we're all pretty much putting up mirrors. We're all playing teacher and student to each other when we're in relationships. And sometimes it'll be mirrored what has to be worked on. And it's up to us in love and in peace to serve each other better in the union or the relationship, to work on those areas so that it could be better. All right. But if you lack surrender, there's a reason. Another thing that I just wanted to bring up was that sometimes your own masculine energy as a woman, your own masculine energy, if the man's masculine energy isn't as strong as yours, is going to be hard. Your own masculine energy won't surrender to it. It's almost like a natural process that the woman's masculine energy just bows down to the true masculine energy of another masculine man. Okay, if his energy is like legit and on point, her masculine energy will just whoop, come down, and it's surrendered, and then her feminine will rise. Because remember, we have both of those energies. So within Janie, I have masculine energy, and my masculine energy will rise up to protect me, because that's protection is masculine energy. But when there's another energy that's there, that is protecting me, that's doing its thing, that's serving the purpose, my own masculine energy will come down. And then it'll say, hey, feminine energy, come on up. It's time to surrender. Let's see that love. And that's exactly how it works. So that I want to read something also, and then we'll make this a short podcast. But safety and security is the foundation. And if it's wobbly, if something's missing, if there's a threat, it's not going to be good. All right. Because it's the foundation. It is the foundation, is the foundation. And do not kid yourself. Do not act like you're not protected. You're not, you can't trust. There's no loyalty, but then you're going to keep trying to make this thing work when the foundation was screwed up from the beginning. All right. It's only a matter of time that it's going to tumble down anyway. All right. Just saying. All right. So again, I like reading from this book, The Mary Magdalene Within. Author is Jane Norton. Check this out if you want to. But I want to read a part from it. And it says, women as healers are close to God. That's the section, chapter 12. And it says, the act of love is the expansion of the Father's energy with the substance of the Mother Earth's receptive love. The Father's energy lifts the very molecules of herself and explodes in waves of creation and rhythms of feeling. They cannot be deaf. The physical existence is made entirely safe and everlasting for each other's bodies. Is there a feeling, an experience on earth which makes a body more safe, more knowing of one's divinity? We did this for each other. We allowed each of the other to feel the most complete feeling of safety, of love in the body. We loved this way, one to the other. The comfort of seeing the beloved happy was ours, each towards the other. He knew the safety of my body, and my body's love for his body was the gift of createdness in highest form. All right. And I've read from this book before. It's the channeled work by the author. She's channeling Mary Magdalene, and Mary Magdalene is explaining her relationship with Yeshua, or Jesus. And the book is deep. I mean, she talks about their love story, their love making, and all that. And it's so interesting. It's good. But I wanted to read that because she explains how safety and security is so important, and they were safe. And because they were safe, they were surrendered to each other. All right. And then they were able to tap into this euphoric feeling. All right. This euphoric energy together, which is the creator energy, the God energy. And they were able to anchor that down each time they made love. Each time they made love. All right. They anchored that down. All right. That's one part. I want to read the second part. And this is from chapter 19. And it says, I was his teacher. I was his love. I was his wife with child. Okay. Y'all didn't know Mary Magdalene had a child, but she did. and she had a daughter. Okay, and the bloodline of Mary Magdalene is here on the earth. Okay, so anyway, let me read. All right, so it says, it was over then, the crucifixion was the story chosen by the collective mind of the time. And that's a whole nother podcast, because we all in consciousness share thoughts. Okay, we don't see our thoughts. We have a podcast about that too. But when everyone has the same thought, we create these big pendulums and these big thought theories. And so in her sentence, she says, crucifixion was the story chosen by the collective mind of the time. All right, let me keep going. I leave it to others. My story of love continued inside of me. It continues today to grow. I was his teacher. I was his love. I was his wife with child. These things you can now know. This is the story he would have you continue on into your next reckoning with life, to ponder over its meaning. This will bring men to the understanding that the feminine vibration is within them, as it was so strongly within their master, Yeshua. Elsewise, he could not have gained the love of myself, the carrier of the feminine energy of the earth herself. We showed this coupling of love from God with love of earth. We did the best we were able to. All right. The gift that God gave us to be together in bodies and to glory at the flesh of creation. There is none so precious as this, to have love with tenderness. This man, as man, was the secret teaching of the ages that I give to you today. It is simple, and we will tell you so in whatever way you hear. Love one another as yourself would be loved. The end, which is the beginning. All right. So I love reading from this. Check it out. Check it out. It is very interesting, especially women. Check it out. So that was it. That's all I wanted to talk about, was why safety and security is so important to women. And it's so important that women understand this and men understand this, if, as we move on in a collective and we regain our balance of masculine and feminine energy, that we understand this, all right? And that we have to work in the root chakra, in our foundation chakra, clear those things in childhood, heal ourselves. You could do this. If not, go see a therapist, whatever it is, talk to somebody. But in order to bring that energy up to the heart chakra, you have to unblock those things, all right? And don't kid yourself. If your foundation is rocky, everything else is rocky, all right? And that's just the truth. That's all I have, guys. Another episode of Matters of the Heart and Soul podcast. My name is Jamie Charlo. I appreciate you guys so much. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if there's any questions I can answer, please let me know. And until then, I'll check you guys out at the next episode. Take care.